Welcome back everyone to John's Fish Hut. If you're new here, thank you for watching. Obviously you can see I'm not in the hut today. I'm actually doing some maintenance, well needed maintenance on the cube tank in the living room before I get thrown out of the house. This is what happens when you get 30 tanks in a shed to look after. This one gets a bit neglected, so this is much needed, and it's just a kind of before and after of me maintaining the tank. It is going to be a time-lapse kind of video. If not, you'll be here watching me for about an hour messing about with a tank, but you get the gist of it. It's just really, I'm going to rip it apart, get rid of this algae that's appeared. I've never seen this type of algae before, but I think it's coming from because it is so close to the window, and that is obviously something you don't really want to do, but I had nowhere else to put the tank in the living room, so unfortunately this is the space, and I'll probably need to maintain it a bit more. But for me, you should do this quite often, keep on top of it. It's actually amazing. You'll see at the end when it's done, so stick to the end and see what the finished product's like. So the tools I'm using here I got from Amazon. A scraper tool, and this is like a rake. I'm just really going to mix up as much sand as I can. I've got aqua soil at the back, so the front half is just sand. And that's the way I kind of like to keep it, so the fish can swim about and I can keep an eye on them as well. But I'm really just churning it up, getting all the rubbish out. This one's just a green pad, so I can get all the algae from the front of the tank off. It's absolutely terrible I've let it go this far, but a bit of elbow grease and it definitely does come up a bit better. The fish don't know what's going on. Angelfish are very nosy, like to see what's going on as well. But good scrub, get the algae off as much as possible, or off as much as possible, sorry. I'm going to get rid of all these plants as well. It's actually stopping the light getting through. And this type of wood that I'm using is actually corkscrew hazel, it's called. Really nice feature in the tank. A bit of a pain when you're putting it in places. It does kind of stick together and screw together, and everything gets stuck in between it. But again, it's something different. I got it at one of my local fish shops. I seen it and thought, yeah, let's give it a try. Some dragon stone here, a dragon rock, just to make up some of the scape in the background. Sorry about the big head in the way there. Obviously take out some water, try it and not soak any fish out. Obviously if you do, it'll get straight in a bucket and you can obviously scoop them back in as well. Just kind of picking through the plants that I'm going to keep. With some in here that's been in for a while and they've not really done well, so I want rid of them. In the back there you see the duckweed floating about. That was a small portion that came in on a net, and with the kind of light that I've got, it is just absolutely overgrown. It grows really fast, so I'm just going to get rid of it. Just scooping as much as I can out. Obviously be very careful, don't scoop any fish up, give it a wee check, and then just get rid of the leaves that are floating about there. The light that I'm using is a Twin Starlight 600C it's called. It was actually a gift from my dad when I got the tank, and it does wonders. It does absolutely amazing for the growth of the plants in there as well. I've got kind of big lilies, I can't remember the name, but they get added in later on, which was also a gift from my dad. He has a big 5-foot aquascape tank with CO2, and it looks absolutely fantastic. So this is just kind of cut-offs of his lily pads. And I'm going to put them in mine because they look fantastic as well. So obviously just get out as much of the dirt and debris that's floating about in the tank as possible. I'm not uprooting everything because I just want to kind of start again. Fed up looking at it and it looks a mess. As I say, having 30 tanks in a shed with fish breeding constantly, that is where most of my time is spent, inside the shed. So it's quite nice actually to have a break and just focus on this tank, as it is in the living room, and I sit and watch it every night just because I love it. So I thought, let's get it nice and tidy. Obviously don't worry too much, you're stirring the water up here and it's going very cloudy, but few water changes, let it settle again once everything's planted, and it does a world of good, and it'll be back to normal within a day or two. I used to keep Malawi's, and when you mixed their tank up, their water was absolutely black. It was just, you couldn't see any fish in the tank. So, well, that was me realising I've got a few shrimp in the tank. Angelfish started pecking at them just because that's what they do. So, going to catch them and put them in with the other shrimp inside the fish shed. And if anybody who does keep shrimp knows, they're usually an absolute pain to try and catch, but I think these guys have had an absolute scare in this tank from the angelfish and want out anyway. So quite an easy catch there. Obviously make sure, there might be some more floating about, but I'll catch them later on. But and off they go into the fish hut. So just here, more water's going to come out, more of this stuff lying at the front here that I'm not going to use. But if you're like me, I like to hoard stuff in case I use it for a scape later on. I should probably just put it in the bin because it just lies about and doesn't get used anyway. But me personally, I find this very therapeutic. Spending time on your tank, getting it ready, getting it nice the way you want it. The finished product that's the bit you're doing it for, and it makes you feel a lot better once it's done. So raking up all the stuff that I can put in the bin or hoard for another day. Most of the fish that you see in here I've actually bred myself, apart from the rummy nose and the cardinals. I've got angelfish that I've bred there, I've got cories in the bottom, CPDs are floating about the top. I managed to get a few of those, and there's one or two of, I think it's a super red cauliflower swordtail, and some kind of young in there as well, just to grow them out that I had in a tank. So basically the joy of having tanks that you like to breed fish in, you can take your own stock, change it a wee bit as well whenever you want. I also take some of the fish that I breed, well, most of the fish I breed up to my local fish shop and exchange it for credit in the shop that I can get food or other fish from as well. Kind of get money in a book, basically, not money paid. And that does for me. Obviously, I love doing it as a hobby, but it's nice to have some stuff in a book that you can walk in a shop and just kind of pick any plants or any food or fish that you want. It's quite good that way. Just going for another scoop, getting as much leaves out as you can. And don't worry, if you don't get them all, they eventually get soaked in the filter anyway, and that gets rid of them for you. Till the next time you clean your filter and it's an absolute mess, but it'll do the job. The filter I use on this tank is a Fluval 407. Decent size. I can't really remember all the litres per hour and all the stuff I use, but it's good. It's a 150 litre tank and it just keeps it absolutely spotless. Fluval, really good quality as well. Quiet, and what I've done in one of my previous videos, you might be able to see I put in some noise cancelling acoustic covers inside it just to quieten any noise down, because my better half complains if she hears the slightest noise in the living room, so I've got to try and keep her happy. And just kind of 2 lily pipes up the top, quite smart, the stainless steel ones as well, and a Fluval 150 watt heater in the background. Quite easy to use as well, and really good heater. So here, just pushing everything back, getting it all ready, getting most of the sand up towards the back where I'll plant it. I like to have it kind of raised towards the back as well. It gives it a nice look when you're looking in from the front. Adds some depth to the tank as well. These plants grow like mad. You've got to cut them every week and either replant them next to them, or I usually put them in tanks in the shed. But again, the fun part of doing this is seeing all the changes, constantly working on it as well. Give you something to do when you're fed up or bored sitting about the house in the rainy days. The next part here, obviously, it's a bit of a nightmare. It's a bit cloudy. You can't really see properly which way you're putting the wood in. So I put it in as rough as possible as I could get it, and then when it cleared up, the cloudiness went away, I started adjusting it again, so you can always move it. Just get a rough idea where you would like it. And if anybody's like me, it doesn't ever look the way you want it. But eventually it just clicks one day, you kind of move something and it sits nice in a tank. You'll see it at the end here. I'm not 100% where I put these lily pad. I really should know the name of them as well. I've kind of put them to the front right hand side of the tank, and it takes up a bit of space. As I say, you'll see at the end. I mean, I don't mind it, but realistically I could have put it on the left hand side. It'd have probably looked a lot better. But they're there just now. I can always move them, as I say. I'll give them something to do another day, so they can stay there just at the moment. Big mistake coming up. Mouthful of water. Happens to the best of us. As I say, 30 tanks, and that's the first time I've done it in about a year. Getting a wee check to make sure no one was watching me at the time, and as always, my son was sitting laughing at me. So a nice mouthful of fish water. Supposedly it's good for your skin, I don't know. But I'm only kidding, don't drink the fish water. So obviously just trying to get as much of the dirt on the sand as I can without taking too much sand away. You can always rinse the sand out and reintroduce it to the tank, or top it up if you've got any spare sand. So as normal, the camera cut out, but this is the next day. And the tank's calmed down, everything's settled in nice, and the haziness is away, and this is the kind of finished product that I've got. I say it looks great, nice and clean. Fish are absolutely loving it. But the lily pad on the right, I'm kind of going for a wee close up here. Again, really should learn the name of these plants, but they're quite hard to pronounce, most of them. I think it looks fantastic. If anything, I could either move it back further or on the left hand side, but this is where I am at the moment. I've not really given CO2 a thought. My dad, as I say, he uses it, and his tank is absolutely lovely. 5 foot tank, I'll get a wee video of that up soon. But I'm happy with these, the flourish root tabs. I kind of half them and dot them underneath, roughly just where the plants are going to be. CO2, I've heard mixed things about it. It's good, it can go wrong, you need to be really careful, so I'm staying away at the moment. Don't have enough time to mess about with it. But I say, yeah, these angels I've bred myself. Most of the fish in here, except for the rumminos and the cardinals. But they're quite happy. Once these are bigger, they'll get moved out of the tank as well. Just kind of 3 in there to let them grow out. But yeah, these big plants are fantastic. They grow like mad as well, so you can cut them and replant them again. But yeah, this is the finished result, and as I say, it makes you feel a lot better when it's done. So thanks for watching John's Fish Hut. Please click like, subscribe and share, and I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks again. See you later.